Nick now knows the full truth about JT. Mia is causing drama at her own wedding, and Billy and Victoria may not be a thing. Stay tuned for this week's Restless Wrap.
You're tuned in to AFTERBUZZ TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hey everybody, I'm Rachel Goodman here with another week of Restless Wrap. We've had some drama, and so my overall thoughts of this week, we had a lot of, we had some things that I never expected to happen, especially with Mia, because we saw her actually kind of showing us this different side of her, this more vulnerable side, weeks before, and now this last week or two, she's really showing us this more of like a manipulation and more of this conniving side that we saw when we first met Mia. And we also had some comparisons from Devon linking Mia with Hillary. So I feel like that's the best place for us to start right now. Before I dive in, I just want to give a shout out to everyone in the chat. We've got Gisela Erickson, we've got Aaron Brody, we've got Mary, we've got Hubby Joe, Demo, and that's everyone right now. So thank you guys for tuning in. I will be reading your comments as we go along. So anything that you want to say or any thoughts you have, definitely just let me know and I will I'll give you a shout out. Gisela says, Aaron, Nick is my husband on YNR. Aw. And Aaron says, as the song was playing, my theme song, and he's got the heart faces. And Hubby Joe says, hi, Rachel, it's been a while. For everyone who didn't know, Hubby Joe is my husband, so that's why it's kind of funny that he said that. And Aaron Brody says, Mia can go. Okay, so yeah, let's talk about Mia. And then after we do this, we'll take some calls, too, if anyone would like to call in. So we began the week with just seeing more of Arturo and Mia. And I'm sorry, I am not going to be able to roll the R's, so I'm just going to say Arturo. We have Arturo with Mia, and it's this back and forth between the two of them. They really, when they've been showing the the flashbacks at the beginning of the week, they've really been hyping up the almost kiss. And ever since then, I actually thought during that snowstorm that Mia was very vulnerable, and so the kiss was sort of on Arturo. However, now they're making it just, to me, I'm not sure where they're going with this because Mia was very vulnerable. We saw her drifting apart from Ray. We saw a lot of chemistry between Ray and Sharon and Mia and Arturo. And now they're just really, the way that the direction is going, it's just it just feels like something is not right here. Aside from Mia being manipulative, it feels like people are paired wrong. However, we kind of start off the week with them just kind of pushing everything that's happened between Mia and Arturo. And then we have Ray and Arturo making up and actually talking to each other. The whole time, they kind of make you think that maybe Arturo is going to say something about what happened, about the kiss during, when he went to fix Mia's heating. But he doesn't. And I guess Arturo at this point just wants to bury the past and let it go. But I will say on Mia's behalf, for a guy who keeps saying he wants to put everything in the past, he sure does come around Mia more often than he really has to. But in all fairness to Arturo, every time Mia has cornered him, he has stuck up for his relationship with Abby, and he has directly told Mia nothing is going on between us. So why I'm confused, so we had all this in the beginning. We had Mia basically saying to Ray that she wanted to, she has this scene with Arturo where she's manipulating him and she's saying, oh, you know that you care about me and you have all these feelings for me and I have an influence over you and we have this bond that you're never going to share with anyone else. She's saying these types of things to Arturo, and then Ray comes in and suddenly she backs off, and in this really syrupy fake voice, she asks Ray to renew his wedding vows with her. And that's kind of where we started off this week with all of that. And my thought is maybe Ray is just willing to accept what's happened and let it go. But Ray was very, the way that he was with me in the beginning was, no, we can never have what we had. It's over. You cheated on me. He seems like suddenly. Like, it kind of seemed like, yeah, maybe not that suddenly. I take that back. It just seems like Ray should be a little more concerned about Arturo than he is, especially given the history and what's happened. And especially the fact that Mia admitted she was with Arturo during the snowstorm. You would think that that would raise some red flags for Ray, just the kind of person that he is, that it would make him feel some kind of guilt. But then again, maybe it's because now the difference is that Ray is not fully emotionally committed to Mia anymore. And so his attraction to Sharon is maybe the reason why he doesn't care as much about Arturo. Maybe it's a subconscious thing, and Ray doesn't even realize what's happening. But I'm sensing that even though Ray is going through the motions and agreeing to remarry Mia, I'm sensing that he really is not into the relationship anymore. And so in that sense, I still feel bad for Mia. But the fact that she's playing both sides, like the way that she is, if she doesn't want to be with Ray, and if Ray is not going to give her the relationship she wants, she needs to just break free from it, which is obviously not what she's doing. She's being very, like, conniving. So this whole week, Mia pretty much she gets MVP for the character who pissed me off the most. Let's put it that way, because she was just very annoying, and it wasn't even just Arturo and the fact that she was playing the two brothers. This week, she decided to also hit on Billy, and it wasn't like obviously she wasn't trying to get his number or anything, but she just after she decides to renew her wedding vows with Ray. Mia starts going around town. She's got her dress in a box in crimson lights, and she's heading back to her apartment. And she bumps into Billy, and she has the audacity to say something to him like, "Yeah, well, it's not for another couple of hours that we're renewing our vows. You can still sweep me off my feet." I get that Mia was probably trying to joke, but this week she just seemed especially flirtatious. And especially, like nothing about her seemed genuine. Whereas before, the way that she was acting seemed like, okay, I actually feel bad for her. She's really trying. This week is just, like, she's being, I don't even know how to describe her. Just very fake. So we have a bunch of comments from the chat. Hubby Joe, Mia started to be likable, and now she's a troublemaker. That's a good word for it. And needs to be put in her place. Demo, Arturo only proposed to Abby because he is denying his love for Mia. Yeah, I agree. And I think that's maybe part of the problem. Mia's acting this way because deep down she loves Arturo and probably has always loved him. And she's the brother that she wants to be with. But, it's coming off very, very toxic the way that Mia's acting right now. Gisela says, Joe, when was Mia likable? I agree with Joe in the sense that she had a moment when everything was going against her and she wasn't being as manipulative, but that moment has passed. I don't like her again. It's kind of like with Hillary, and I used to say this about her character a lot. I didn't like Hillary for the longest time. And then near the end, Hillary started being a nicer character, and I actually liked her. She redeemed herself. So I feel like Mia redeemed herself for a couple weeks, and now it's like, ugh, I don't like this person again. Todd Beaton says, don't put Sharon and Ray together. Gisela says, I loved Mia's jealous face, priceless, yeah. And I guess if we're comparing this, if we're rating this in terms of how soapy it was, let's just say this week was especially soapy, and not just with the Mia and Arturo storyline, but in general, it was a very, like, all the facial reactions were very soapy. The way that the storylines were written, very, like, soapy. Demo, Abby will be heartbroken when she finds out the truth. So let's talk about Abby and Arturo for a second, because Abby ran in, this is before the engagement, Abby runs into Mia in Crimson Lights and actually hears from Mia, oh, well, Arturo spent the night with me fixing my heater. And so Abby was told the truth. And the way that Mia flaunted it to Abby was Like, oh, we were flirting with each other, we rekindled things. So Abby goes back to Arturo and she brings it up to him. And Arturo thinks, oh, I better apologize. Like, obviously, if Arturo feels like he has to apologize, he knows that he did something wrong too. Guilty conscience. So he starts to act like he's like, when Abby says, yeah, I deserve an apology, Arturo thinks that she means him. And he starts, like, you can tell he's about to just start admitting things to her. And then Abby's like, no, not you. Mia, she owes me an apology. You do this all the time. You go and you fix heaters. That's what you do. You don't have to tell me every single thing. Okay, so this is what I don't understand. Abby freaked out at the party maybe about a month ago, when I think that all she found out was that, there had been an affair and it had happened in the past. And she got so mad at Arturo, she wouldn't talk to him, not saying that this is the same thing. But she finds out that he's back in alone with Mia overnight, practically overnight anyway. And Abby doesn't freak out about that. I'm kind of thinking, well, Abby, it's not very consistent with her, because she freaked out over one thing, that one piece of information being withheld. And yeah, I get it. The information being withheld before was that he had an affair with Mia. Right, that is a bigger deal. But considering what Abby knows about Arturo, it's a pretty big deal that he wouldn't have mentioned going over to Mia's apartment and being alone with her and fixing her heater. If I had been Abby, I'd probably be more upset over not knowing that he was alone with this woman, and less angry about not hearing about the affair in the first place. That's just me. If you guys agree in the chat, let me know. Or if you disagree, let me know too. I want to hear your thoughts on that. Gisela, I love it when it is soapy. Mary, Abby always gets the wrong guys. Yeah, so far from what I've seen of her, definitely true. Demo, Abby has a past of hooking up with other people's men. It's catching up with her. Mary, I don't trust Phyllis. She's trouble. We'll definitely get to Phyllis. I don't trust her either. I think she's lying to everybody. And that, what she told Nikki and Nick is only partially the truth. But we'll get to her. We'll get to Phyllis after we're done talking about Mia. And then, we're getting some people talking about Victor here. Mary, gotta love Victor to make him sign a prenup. Gisela, I don't think Abby is even getting a wedding day. Demo, Phyllis is a snake. Yeah, definitely. Very true. Gisela says worse. She is a cockroach. Demo, Abby getting dumped at the altar would be epic. And then Aaron says, Abby has destroyed so many relationships. It's time for her fall. Yeah. And that's the thing, is that I have been watching the soap for, let's see, going on 2.5-ish years now. So I think I missed all the Abby drama where she was actually cheating on, cheating on people she was with. But from what I've heard from people, she sounds like she's kind of getting what she deserves right about now. Okay, so then we actually get to the wedding day itself. As we're leading up to it, I just want to make a mention here. As I said earlier with Devon, Mia, she's last minute. I don't even understand how this was going to work, but she needed a venue like that day. She proposed to Ray, or not proposed, well, I guess kind of proposed, asked him to renew the wedding vows on that day. And I think it was even the same day, maybe the next day, that's when she wanted it to happen. So she's going around doing all this stuff last minute. It didn't seem realistic that she'd be able to set a wedding up that fast with flowers, with everything. And in any case, that's what happened. She talked to Devon. She sounded so much like Hillary. She wouldn't take no for an answer, that Devon ended up agreeing to letting her not only be someone who's not a member having an event at the club, but he threw in the food and the drinks for free as a wedding present to them. And we're going to get to this a little bit later, but that conversation in general stuck out to me because of the fact that Devon and Anna were both there, and Devon made a comment like, people are only playing me people are never working me. they only think they're working me. And we'll get into why that's important a little bit later, because it kind of, had a lot more to do with Anna and Devon than the Mia storyline. But I just found it pretty interesting that Devon sort of looked at Mia like she was the next Hillary. And I kind of feel the same way, that Mia is doing a lot of things that are just like Hillary. She has those moments when you actually like her. It almost made me think for a split second that maybe one day there would be a Devon and Mia storyline. I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to do that, especially given the fact that she's been compared to Hillary. But as of right now, obviously, there's nothing like that. That it doesn't seem like that's what they're doing with this. But I wouldn't be surprised if one day that's the direction they went in. So then we have the actual marriage itself, which was nice. It wasn't that dramatic until Arturo proposed to Abby. And Mia, first of all, she was so jealous that they were like kind of upstaging her wedding. That was the first thing. And then the second thing was, obviously, she doesn't want Arturo to get married. Obviously, she wants both the brothers, and she feels like she's entitled to both the brothers. And so she was starting to give Arturo a hard time, but Arturo is very set in the fact that he wants to be with Abby. So that's kind of where we left it with them. Let me check in one more time with the chat, and then we'll move on to the next topic here. Aaron Brody, I actually liked that Summer got hurt with that storyline. Oh, okay. Yeah. And also, I've heard rumors that Summer might be coming back soon. And when we heard Victor at the end of the week, it sounded like he was talking about, this is in the preview, it sounded like the news he was getting was about Summer. So hopefully she'll be back, because I did like her storylines. Gisela Erickson, anytime Summer is hurt is a great storyline. So annoyed that she is back. Okay, so as I was saying, thank you, Gisela, for confirming that. As I was saying, I've heard Summer's coming back. It sounds like she is. Hubby Joe, they throw a wedding together in a day. Flowers, tuxedo, food, not real. Only in the soap world. Yeah, it's not possible at all. That you just wouldn't. Even if you knew all these people, how did you get the flowers there that fast? That many of them? How did you get the food prepared? Now, granted, it wasn't that many people at the party, but still, it was enough where you would need to have some preparation. Todd Beaton, Summer is the worst character. Demo, Mia looking for Devon to be your next husband, and Demo has put money bag emojis. Yeah, Mia would probably be happy with that. I could see that situation. Aaron says Mia ain't nowhere near Hillary, and that's true. I like okay. If we're comparing Hillary and Mia, Hillary is like a way better character. I ended up really liking her as a character, and I'm sad she's gone. Yeah, Mia's, I see the similarities, but they're not the same. They're not on the same level. They're just very different people, or they're similar, but there's enough of a difference there where you would not, you couldn't ever, really compare them. Scott Holston, what's Adam up to? Grinning face, kidding. We were talking about that, though, for the longest time, about Adam coming back. There are always rumors about Adam coming back, but I haven't heard anything officially yet, so who knows. And then Gisela says, I ain't saying she's a gold digger. We're talking about Mia and Devon. Good song to quote there. And then J.A., hi, hello, everyone. Do you still take calls? We are going to take calls after this, but before we do, I just want to make an announcement. Before we move to our next topic, we just wanted to say thank you for making us the ESPN of TV Talk. For us to continue to grow, we could definitely use your help. If you're on YouTube right now, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. And if you're on iTunes, please give us a 5-star rating. But no matter where you are, leave us a comment so you can get involved in the conversation. Being a part of AfterBuzz TV has meant so much to all of us, and we truly appreciate you supporting us in doing what we love. Don't forget to tell your friends, and keep enjoying our shows. So, on that note, we're actually going to take calls now. So thank you, J.A., for bringing that up. The number, if you are listening live right now, the number to call is 424-354-8302. Again, if you are listening live, it is January, I almost said June, January 27th, 2019 at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time. Go ahead and call in. The number one more time is 424-354-8302. All right, let's move on to Phyllis because we had a lot with her. We had a lot with the JT storyline. So when I say Phyllis, let's just encompass all of this under like the Nick, Phyllis, Nikki umbrella. Okay, so and then we'll get to Billy and Victoria a little bit later, and Kane and everything going on with that, and we'll try to touch on Devon before we end too. So, okay, so we had Nick and Sharon. At this point, Nick knows a lot more. He pretty much knows everything. He doesn't know about the four women being involved, just that it's Nikki and Victoria. But he has a brief conversation with Sharon, not knowing that it's her, and not knowing that she's involved, I should say. And I just want to say this. When I saw them talking again, it just made me wish that they would get back together over this. And we have someone calling in. Who's on the line?
Hey, Rachel, it's Jacob from Texas.
Hey, Jacob. So I was just talking about, we could talk about Phyllis and Nick and that whole situation, about what's going on with them. What are your thoughts on that?
I think there's more to the story than Phyllis is leading on. She says, oh, she had the poker the whole entire time. I think, yeah, she might have, but I think she's leaving stuff out. I think it's going to be that divulged a little bit more as the weeks go on. So I think she's leaving stuff out because she's trying to make it out like she was just covering up for them. But Phyllis is only trying to cover her own butt. So
Yeah.
That's what she's trying to do. Like Phyllis is only concerned about her. So I think there's more stuff to this whole plan of the thing with the poker. I think there's more to it, but I'm worried about they'll probably be doing more stuff in the coming weeks. But I'm worried it will be interesting to see with the new writer if they just drop the storyline and how fast it wraps up, or if they'll continue with it.
Yeah, and that's the
I'm
one.
just interested.
That's the one thing I noticed too. I could feel that we were going through a transition, just because it felt like we were just not necessarily with the JT storyline, but with some of the minor storylines. It just feels like it's they're pulling up older things and just reusing ideas as we transition to someone new. But with Phyllis, I felt like Nikki made a really good point when she said that Phyllis always needs an insurance plan, and so she knew that she didn't want to just stick her neck out, and so she obviously kept the poker stick. It didn't make sense to me though that Phyllis was trying to say. I mean, it made sense that she was trying to cover herself, but just all the scenes with her, I was actually starting to like Phyllis for a while too. She's another one. But just as we're seeing all these lies, you can just really feel that Phyllis is never going to have any kind of allegiance to the other three women, even though she's involved with Nick. And I think it's just going to ruin her relationship with Nick.
Yeah, and it also just seems like it came out of nowhere. They were like so gung-ho to be tight together, and all of a sudden it just came out of nowhere. And I know the new writer stuff hasn't started airing yet, but it just kind of was that they kind of threw this out there, and I'm like, okay. But it will be interesting to see what they do with it. But I'll be interested to see if Sharon jumps on board with Phyllis, because Phyllis and Sharon are kind of two characters that are they're kind of like rebels, but they've always been like dumped on, and always been like, people have always done stuff to them, and they're just supposed to take it and deal with it. But like it happens to other characters are like, look what this person did to me. But Phyllis and Sharon have always been the characters that always get dumped on, and it always seems like everyone thinks they should just be able to take it. So it will be interesting to see if Sharon breaks with Nikki and Victoria goes strictly with Phyllis, so it should be interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. I definitely agree. And I like that they threw that in there, that obviously Phyllis is not with them. I think it's going to make it a little more interesting. But thank you
And then
for. Oh, sorry.
also one more quick thing about Nick. Like, it looks like the Nick and Phyllis relationship is going to be over for now, but he'll go back to Phyllis or Sherry. He always bounces he bounces between every woman in Genoa City, it seems like. But one other thing with the scene with that, it was weird when him and Phyllis were supposedly making love. It was weird that he was thinking about Phyllis sabotaging his dad or something. That was just weird. I was like, that's just strange, but I guess it's a soap. But I was like, that's just weird.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you so much for calling in.
Okay, have a good night. Keep up the good work, and
Oh.
I'll keep tuning in.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
So, just kind of hitting on a few more things with Phyllis, and then we'll move on to the next topic. We had a lot with her and Nick. Basically, the issue that came up with them when they found out that basically Phyllis just had been trying to accuse Victor of being the murderer. When Nick found out that Phyllis was part of this, he confronted her and tried to ask her why she would do this. And that's now there's an even bigger issue between Nick and Phyllis, because he knows that not only did she try to cover this up, but she threw his dad under the bus. So let me check in with the chat here. Aaron says Nick needs to break up with Phyllis. Demo, yes, Nick does bounce around. Yeah, when they showed, I always think of this now, when they showed one of the classic episodes where Nick had all these different girlfriends and they all confronted him, like the, ghosts of girlfriends past. You can definitely see that he is not someone who, he's definitely someone who has made his way around Genoa City. And we've got someone on the line who's calling in.
Hey, this is Jamel from Brooklyn.
Hey, Jamel, how are you?
I'm doing good.
So we're still talking about Phyllis and Nick. What are your thoughts on everything that's going down this week with them?
It's interesting. I mean, I'm sort of trying to figure out what the writer's trying to do with with Sharon and Nick. I guess I always think about them together, because it seems like Nick, he was totally disillusioned with her with the confession she made on Friday.
Yeah.
And it looked like he's always sort of eyeing Sharon. He's always sort of pining after her, and this connection between Nick and Phyllis doesn't seem as strong as it did, even with the same actress, as it did a couple of years ago. It's almost like they both see each other as I forgot the word I forgot the word of it. When you break up somebody, you get into another relationship real fast.
Oh, like a rebound. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Rebound. It doesn't seem romantic. It doesn't seem very deep. He's always worried about Sharon. He's always pining after her. So I'm trying to figure out, are they aiming for all these storylines to conclude with Phyllis alone?
Yeah.
Because it seemed like Billy is devoted to Victoria, which I think, what's so funny? On the show right now, of all the couples, and so I love them. I love the actors who play, Victoria and Billy, and I'm very happy that they are sort of, doing that dance, because I just think their chemistry is off the charts, yeah. Billy and Victoria. So I'm very happy with what they're doing, and of course Nick and Sharon is fantastic. So I'm curious what they're going to do with Phyllis, because it seemed like everybody's sort of getting tired of her a little bit.
Yeah.
It seems like I mean, oh my God. Yes, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say maybe she'll end up with Jack. We know.
Well,
yeah.
You know what? I hope I don't want that. I actually think that Jack, he's been pining after her for over 6 years probably, and he's finally starting to get the idea. Listen, she's with my brother. She's obsessed with my brother, and now she's in a relationship with somebody else. She had an opportunity when we get really close to come back to me, and she went and got with Nick. So I hope he takes that as a sign that she would choose everybody else over him, and he can go and be with somebody in a new way. Because Jack pining after Phyllis, and And I mean, everything he did for her, whether it be the company, everything else, it made problems with his family.
Yeah.
And so I hope that, it just, he was so obsessed with her, and just like, come on, you're dynamic, and the actor is fantastic. He's like one of the top, and so it's like, just let's get off the obsession with Phyllis. You're a dynamic man, and let's do something else, because I hate that sort of Jack pineapple Phyllis. I was so tired. I didn't like it.
Yeah, and it's kind of the same thing. Going back to Victoria and Billy, I love what they're doing with that, where they just had Phyllis step up and say one little thing, and Victoria,
Mm-hmm.
who's still scared of getting hurt again, used that
Mm-hmm.
excuse and kind of blew it up a little more because she's so scared of trusting herself again after what happened with JT.
Yeah. I mean, that was. I can't wait for Lily to come out, because I just can't wait for Lily to come out, because I'm thinking maybe Victoria might see a slap coming to her, from
Yeah.
Lily, because Lily, she's steaming in jail. But yeah, that's true. I think, but I still love Victoria and Billy, and I'm trying to think of what else happened before I can go. That was so big this week. Oh, I forgot. But I love, what I love? I love the fact that Nikki is not so drained by the secret of what happened. I'm happy that the Newmans in 2019 are sticking together, and I hope that that's what continues. But I do hope that they wrap up this thing with JT. I really do, because it's getting to me. I mean, I'm not sure other people in chat or how you feel, because I just got to the program when I came home. I'm getting tired of this mystery. I'm really getting tired of it. At first, I thought it could have been Victoria's son, but then when it comes to find out he was actually, not, that wasn't what was happening. I hope they wrap it up fast, because I want to see more business. I want to see more Newman Enterprises. I don't want to see this mystery go on too long. It's too long for me.
Excellent. Yeah, I definitely agree. Well, thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you. You know what? I love your show, and I love how you talk. I talk to you all the time. I love you. Take out I remember when Jack was having a lot of issues with his mom, and you would say, "Well, look at the way he's running, the way he shows his teeth." Thank you. You take the moments that I subconsciously remember, and then you just bring it to light, and you make it fun of it, and the things that I find funny, you find funny. So
Awesome.
I love it. Plus, you're the only one on AfterBuzz of the soap block who takes phone calls. You listen to the fans, because the other people don't take the calls anymore.
Yeah. Well, I will definitely keep taking calls. So I'll definitely next week. It'd be great to have you call in again.
Oh, I love to. I
Yeah.
can't wait. I'm excited about this week, and I hope. I hope that I'm excited about the Newmans. I really am. I just love what they're doing with them, and I just Billy Victoria for me. I love them very much.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you so much for calling in.
Okay, thank you.
Bye. Okay, so let's just touch in with the chat really fast, and then we'll try to hit a few more things and then get to our law moment. So let's see. We have Demo saying maybe Lily will get Billy to spite Kane. Maybe that was actually. I think I'm gonna sneeze here. Sorry. Okay, I'm good. That would be one. That was one thing that I was actually thinking about, is that maybe that's what Billy was gonna do. But considering we know what Billy did with Summer, so I wouldn't put that past him to be spiteful again. Demo says yes, end the JT storyline, wrap it up. I agree. It's been going on too long. Gisela. Aaron says, we all know JT is alive. And then Gisela says, are you serious, Aaron? And then we have a lot of people saying we love Rachel. Thank you guys so much. Yeah, we'll always do calls. So anytime you guys want to call in, we will take them every week. Scott Holston, I might tune in to YNR this week. You definitely should, and let us know what your comments are. And then Aaron says, yes, Gisela, I think he's alive. I think that there's a very big possibility, this is one of the rumors I saw, that Phyllis was actually working with JT. I don't know how true that is. You see a lot of rumors that you can't actually verify, but that's one of them that popped up. So just throwing it out there that Phyllis is the one scheming and doing all these things. Let's just make sure I hit on basically everything. We had a lot with Billy and Victoria. Billy, as you know, guys probably picked up and already kind of saw too, everything that happened with Billy going to Lily, telling her the truth about Kane and Victoria, and then Kane goes and tries to get in again with, to get in good graces with Neil and Devon, who are like, no, you just cheated on Lily again. We're not going to let you talk to her, and she doesn't want to see you. We're not going to help. So we have all of that going on. The only other thing to really mention is that Anna and Devon, that storyline, Anna finally told Devon that it was her, that she was the one writing the music, and she kind of explained why she did it. And Devon seemed really understanding about it. And then we left off with Anna kind of just singing and, just kind of demonstrating and just kind of being more of herself, playing a song on the piano. And I just feel like even though right now Anna does not really want people to know she's writing this song, and she didn't really get into why exactly, I just feel like eventually that's what we're going to see is more of Anna, not just being a producer, but actually going in and singing the songs too. And I'd love to see kind of a duet thing happening with Finn and Anna. That would be great. And I hope that's what they're going for with this. Let's see. Another brother says, did Nick not know that Sharon was involved with the JT cover-up? Demo, no, he didn't know. Yeah, he didn't know. He found out about Phyllis, and that's when he got mad at her. He didn't know about Sharon. In the previews, we kind of see, well, first of all, Phyllis spilled the beans this week, and in the previews, we see Nick trying to pick up the pieces like he's Victor. Okay, that's one thing I want to say before we get to the law moment. And Aaron says Finn is so hot. So, and Demo says and Anna needs to date Finn. Yeah, I definitely think that they should date. I can feel it. Gisela, Anna is definitely hiding something other than debt from her university. Yeah, especially when she said that Devon paid for her student or for her school loans. So I don't know what else there could be if that's the debt she was talking about. But yeah, I agree. She's hiding something. The other thing I wanted to say, though, was about Phyllis and Sharon, Phyllis, Sharon, and Nick. Everything with Nick, when he finds out that Sharon was keeping the secret, I think someone who called in said this about the fact that Sharon got up on the altar and was really complaining about how, all this stuff about, like, how Nick had been unfaithful to her and had lied to her. Now, granted, cheating is different than what Sharon's involved with, but I think when Nick finds out that Sharon was lying too, it's going to open up a can of worms. He's probably going to have words with her. I hope the words lead to a rekindling somehow and that maybe they can grow closer. And I really hope that they're going to push Nick and Sharon back together for good. They weren't together long enough the last time, and I don't like the fact that he went and hooked up with Phyllis. I agree with Jamel. It didn't feel like there was a lot of chemistry. It felt very, just kind of fake and reboundy. And now I don't feel anything between them at all. Not even rebound stuff. Todd Beaton, why does Nick think he's boss Nick? Just remember what Nikki, Sharon, Victoria, and Phyllis did. Yeah, exactly. And I don't like that either. They should be the boss, not Nick. They're the ones who did it. They should be able to work with him and clean up the mess, not have Nick as the boss. So, on that note, let's go ahead and get to our law moment. I had a couple of things. One was Michael when he was dancing to Fenn's song. Just the way that he was dancing cracked me up, so there was that. I also listed Mia's fake proposal to Ray. And then the last thing I listed was Mia in general. Her manipulative behavior was so cringeworthy, it was funny. It actually had me laughing at some points. That's how bad it was. So let's just read a couple more comments before we wrap up. Gisela, Sharon was keeping the secret for his family, not sleeping with the most vile person. Gisela says, I need chic. I need chic too. And then Demo says, yes, Phyllis said that about Sharon. Nick shouldn't be mad at Sharon. His mom and sister lied too. Yeah, and I don't think Nick should be mad at her either, but he might be. I don't even know if he'll be mad. It's more, I think he's going to be hurt that she lied to him too, especially when they were going to get married. I think that Nick is the most mad at Phyllis, as he should be, because Phyllis is the one who wanted them to cover it up from the beginning. It's really, if you think about it, all Phyllis, it's mainly Phyllis's fault, because she was the one pushing to save herself and to save them by claiming that she didn't want to go to the police, when if they had just gone to the cops from the moment this happened, they probably wouldn't have gotten in trouble. It was self-defense, and even Nick said that. So I don't really understand the reasoning that Phyllis had for not wanting to go to the cops earlier, unless she wanted to be scheming the whole entire time and do this on purpose. And then Demo says, Michael dancing like a dad. Aaron Brody, I love Finn's new song. So on that note, thank you guys for tuning in this week to Restless Rap. My name is Rachel Goodman. You can find me on Instagram or Twitter at Rach Goodman. We also have our Restless Rap Facebook group. So if you go over there and like and follow the page, not a group, you can like and follow. I always post the link to the show. Until next time, I hope you guys have a wonderful week. We will catch you next Sunday.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.